Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and today I'm doing a Wrestlemania review on Wrestlemania 22. It was a good event, a lot of fun, enjoyed every moment of it, so let's get started. The first match that came up for the card was Big Show and Kane defending the tag team titles against Carlito and Chris Masters. Big Show and Kane retained the championships. And this match was a 3 out of 5 star match. It was an average Joe match. Didn't have a lot of big moments in it. But it was still enjoyable and a good opener for WrestleMania. So, wasn't too shabby. Not too much to talk about here at this point about that match. Then we go into the Money in the Bank ladder match, which had Ric Flair, Rob Van Dam, Shelton Benjamin, Matt Hardy, Finlay, and Bobby Lashley. Bottom line, everybody in this match that had an involvement was very good. They did their job right. They structured this whole entire match the right way. They had Ric Flair making the audience believe that he was going to win the ladder match, which would have been pretty cool, but they wanted to go with somebody a bit younger than him who hasn't really gotten a main event spot in his career, and he's been there for a long time, which was Rob Van Dam. And of course, if you haven't seen a match that he's had that was a classic with Eddie Guerrero in 2002 at June Raw episode, you ought to go catch it. It was for the Intercontinental Championship. So definitely a great match by Rob Van Dam as well as everyone else involved. The match itself was a 3.5 out of 5 star match. And I have to say it was a lot of fun to watch. Shelton Benjamin had some really good spots. So did Bobby Lashley for a guy his size. He did some pretty cool stunts in this match. Next match after that was the United States Championship, which Chris Benoit was the champion going in, facing JBL. This match ended with JBL winning with a roll-up pin with a little bit of a screw job, I believe. I don't quite remember because I haven't watched this one in a while. But I do remember JBL winning the match. The match was a bit short. It was decent. It would have been better if they would have stretched the match out a little bit longer. But overall, the match was a lot of fun and enjoyable. But it could have been better than what it was. I give this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars as well. Bit surprised though because to have Chris Benoit give the belt up to JBL because the man just won the title a month before against Booker T. Which does lead me into the next match, or actually, that's not the next match, it's the match after this one that I'm about to talk about. But, yeah, it was a bit surprising that Chris Benoit lost the championship to JBL after a month of only holding on to it. So I was a bit surprised by that. The next match after that was a hardcore match between Mick Foley and Edge. This was the match of Mick Foley's career. Despite whatever happened to him in this match, which he did lose, he still walked out the winner. It was the same way and no different than Stone Cold Steve Austin with Bret Hart. Bret Hart might have won the match, but Stone Cold walked away as a real winner in this match, even though he lost at the end of the day. So, this match definitely was great. It elevated Edge's career, too. He moved on later that year, winning the WWE Championship and having several good matches with, John Cena. And they had some really good back and forth action going on for that WWE Championship in the summer and fall of 2006. So this match definitely, I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was definitely one of the best matches on the card, besides a few others. So this definitely was really good for the beginning part of the show and everything. The first half, I would have to say. This really was a standout in the first half of the show. So I definitely have to say it was a great match. Next match leading into this was Boogeyman versus Booker T and Sharmell. This was a throwaway match. It was really horrible. I think it was a bad way of introducing Booker T's heel character into WrestleMania. I think he deserved a bit of a better match in this. This really wasn't exactly Booker T's best quality work. He's had a whole lot better quality of work with other people. This was really a one-sided ass whooping, and they didn't even do anything with Boogeyman at all. Boogeyman didn't even do anything in his career. Even in 2006, he's like came up for a few months and then dropped to Nowheresville, and nobody heard from him again. Made a few appearances here and there throughout the years, but never really done anything heavily in his career. So I didn't think much of this match. I give it a 2 out of 5 star match. So it wasn't all that entertaining. The next match on this card was the Women's Championship between Trish Stratus and Mickie James. Trish Stratus being the champion. Great build up to this match. Very good women's title match. I mean, there was a lot of good spots in this. Could have been stretched out again with this match like they did with Benoit and JBL. I think they could have stretched this out a bit more to make it a bit better. But overall, it was still very good. I did like how the commentary was on Mickie James. Like, one of the comments I do remember, Jim Ross, he goes ahead and he's like, man, Mickie James, you really need a lot of helium to balance out your brain, you know, that kind of thing. So that's why he was making that kind of comment. And she played a crazy character very well. I was very shocked at how well she was able to do it, too. She didn't stay that kind of character for a long time. It was maybe for a year or two. That's about it. And then she just completely dropped the whole psycho character, which I think probably would have been a lot fun to see her playing that kind of character for a bit longer than what she did. Overall, the match was good. I'd say it was a 3.5 out of 5 star match. Not too many women's matches I've seen I would grade as that kind of level of quality. And Mickie James, of course, walked out as the women's champion. Trish Stratus was going in as the champion. And how she won the match was a tornado DDT where Trish Stratus' head smacked right into the mat, and she looked like she had a concussion, or she was just acting like she had a concussion. But it was an overall great ending. I enjoyed every moment of it, and it was a lot of fun. So, yeah, definitely a 3.5 out of 5 star match. Well worthy of watching. But, I mean, if you were to have the DVD collection of WrestleMania 22, I mean, you could skip it, but it's not that big of a deal if you watched it or you didn't. But it was still a good match overall. The next match, as you may know, casket match, Undertaker and Mark Henry. I don't even have to tell you who won that fucking match. Anytime you hear Undertaker's name at WrestleMania until WrestleMania 30, you know he won the freaking match. Again, as I mentioned in WrestleMania 19's review, for my second WrestleMania review, the problem is with some of the opponents that Undertaker faced at WrestleMania, like Big Show and A-Train, is the same thing with, like, Mark Henry. Mark Henry did a decent job, though, better than what Big Show and A-Train did against Undertaker at WrestleMania. You also add in the fact that it was a casket match. It even made it a little bit... It was a more elevated type of match. The build-up was pretty decent, too. I mean, you had a good reason. Mark Henry was demolishing guys left and right, as usual, to build this guy up since he is such a massive and strong dude. I mean, he put out Batista, and he was the world champion at the time. Then Kurt Angle becomes a champ. He beats Mark Henry at a cheating, and then Undertaker gets a shot, and Mark Henry doesn't get a secondary shot at the World Championship. So he kind of gets a little upset and screws Undertaker out of the title, which leads them to a basic build-up to a WrestleMania match. And it was enjoyable and fun to watch. It was still slow. It needed, because I understand, Undertaker is a tall guy, but he has a lot of flexibility in comparison to the other opponents that he's faced that are about the same height as him, but he's in a lot better shape than most guys he's faced that are as tall as he is. He has a lot more flexibility, in my opinion. Mark Henry, if he was, skinnier, I think probably he would have been able to work this match a whole lot better with Undertaker, but he was just kind of not very mobile. He was stiff. He didn't have a lot of flexibility to do things. So I think that was where the trouble lied with him, but it wasn't because he's a bad wrestler or anything. It's just that he's not flexible and mobile enough to produce a decent and fun match to watch. It's just kind of basic and bland. So that's the only reason why the match kind of sucked, in my opinion. But build-up itself was very good. And match-wise, I have to say the match was a 3 out of 5 star match. It definitely was a lot better than the WrestleMania 19 match that Undertaker had. So I definitely have to say that that was a decent match, fun to watch. Nothing too crazy to talk about with this one, but it was good overall. The next match, though, was a lot of fun. Anytime you're watching Vince McMahon getting his ass kicked on national television, especially at a WrestleMania event, you gotta enjoy yourself. And this next match was Shawn Michaels versus Vince McMahon in a no-holds-barred match. He did have the Spirit Squad, which entailed of 6 different guys. Dolph Ziggler was one of those people at the time, and their asses got kicked out of the arena by Shawn Michaels. He basically whipped all their asses. It was fun as hell to watch Shawn Michaels. He also kicked Shane McMahon's ass, whipped out this humongous ladder, climbed all the way to the top, did the DX chop to Vince McMahon. He also had Vince McMahon on a table with a trash can over his head, and he flew down and elbow dropped him right on his head. I mean, he really looked like Vince was dead, bottom line. And then Shawn Michaels delivered about 2 or 3 sweet chin musics to the face. Pinned him 1, 2, 3. A lot of fun, entertaining stuff. Definitely, even though Vince McMahon's limited, he's a limited wrestler, he can't wrestle for shit. He was with a guy that knew how to wrestle. I mean, Mr. WrestleMania, the showstopper, whatever slogan you want to call him or gimmick you want to claim he is. He made this match, bottom line. There was no way in hell Vince McMahon could make this match great because of his wrestling capabilities. Shawn Michaels made this match alone a 4 out of 5 star match in my opinion. As you may know, Shawn Michaels walked away the victor of this match between him and Vince McMahon. Then the next match was this was a heartfelt type of match. It was for the World Heavyweight Championship between Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, and Randy Orton, triple threat match. Definitely felt, at the passing of Eddie Guerrero, they did the right thing by passing this to Rey Mysterio. He was definitely he was developing into a well character. They were doing a good job building him up, and he was the guy that really could be the guy to win the World Championship. Unfortunately, I really think it should have been Chavo Guerrero, but they weren't doing anything great with him at the time, so it wouldn't be the right thing to do. I mean, it would be a little stupid. It wouldn't make a lot of sense either, outside of the fact that he's real family to Eddie Guerrero. But Rey Mysterio was just as close to family with Eddie Guerrero as Chavo Guerrero is. They just weren't blood related. Rey Mysterio did an excellent job in this match. So did Randy Orton and Kurt Angle. All 3 men did an excellent job. Again, the match should have been, a classic. I wouldn't say it wasn't a classic, but it just didn't. It was too short. Again, a lot of the problem with this pay-per-view, I'd have to say, the one problem was some of the matches deserved to be a little bit longer than what they were. It seemed like they kind of rushed through some of these matches, I guess, and that was really where the problem lied, I believe, with most of the matches on here. But it was still fun and fast-paced, which I can appreciate and I really enjoyed. This match, I would have to say, was a 4 based on the storyline, the build-up, and the fact the right guy won this title. So, yeah, Rey Mysterio, he became the world champion, and I felt that was an excellent ending, best way to do it, outside of having Kurt Angle win. But, yeah, I mean, Rey Mysterio winning the title was great. Good move on WWE's part at the time, and just nothing really bad to say outside. It was kind of, I think it was shortened than what it could have been. But not bad at all. The next match, this Playboy pillow fight between Tori Wilson and Candice Michelle. Again, the secondary, it was a second match that they were throwing away. I guess you could say it was like a halftime break or something. You could go ahead, take a piss, get something to eat, munch on something, whatever. And this match didn't last too long. I don't even remember who the fuck won this match. I think it was Tori Wilson or Candice. I have no idea. Doesn't even matter. This match was a dud. I wouldn't even give it a 1. So it wasn't even that big of a deal. Then the main event for the WWE Championship. John Cena being the champion going against Triple H. This match was excellent. This was the match of the night outside of Edge and Mick Foley's match and Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon. Not saying Vince McMahon deserved any credit for the match that Shawn Michaels had with him. It really all belonged to Shawn Michaels. But yes, this match was very good. I hate to say John Cena's match stole the show, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and break down and say this. He did. His match with Triple H was the show stealer. It was basically a passing of the torch. It was showing that John Cena was ready to be in that spotlight that he was in for a year from 2005 to 2006. And he just ran with it from then on to now. And John Cena, he did what he needed to do. He was excellent in this match. He wasn't bad. He needed... Again, like as usual, everyone said about John Cena. He has a very limited move set, and he doesn't know too many moves or execute too many moves in his matches. But he was good in this match. I mean, he told a story through his emotions, through how badly he was getting his ass kicked by Triple H. Triple H did an excellent job as usual. He's maybe not the greatest wrestler in the world, but he tells a good story in the ring, and he's an excellent bad guy. I mean, you can't deny that Triple H isn't by far the greatest heel in the history of wrestling outside of maybe Ric Flair. But overall, this match was great. John Cena won, but the ending was picture perfect. You couldn't get a better ending to a match. And granted, would I want to see Triple H tap out, which he did, to John Cena? I don't think that's what they should have done, but the way it looked, knowing John Cena's not a technician wrestler, I'd have to say that was still a cool look to an ending. The way Triple H he was scratching and clawing to get to that bottom rope to break the hold, but unfortunately he couldn't. He was like a few inches away, and he just was in so much... It looked like he was in agonizing pain, even though, he probably wasn't. Maybe he was. Who knows? I'm not living in Triple H's body. But, yeah, it was a very nice, detailed, story to tell to the audience. And the way Triple H expressed his emotions of how much pain he might have been in, possibly from the hold, and him tapping out the way he did, and John Cena ripping and tearing at Triple H's head and legs. It just, it was an excellent ending. Despite whether the fact you like John Cena or not, and whether John Cena is a technician wrestler or not, it was still the best ending you possibly could go with at that point for the type of match that was going on. And it was decently long, so it even made up for the fact that, they didn't rush through this one. This one it felt like a real, it's the main event. It's the world champion versus the challenger, which it was anyway. And they really played it out correctly. And it was a great ending. When I first saw this, I was screaming and yelling, hoping John Cena would win the title. At that time, I believe I was about 18. Yeah, I was 18 years old at the time. And I was hoping John Cena was going to win. Because I at the time, I really didn't like Triple H. I was getting sick and tired of him being the heel character and trying to become world champion so many damn times. And at this point, John Cena was like he was, I'm trying to remember, he lost the WWE title at Edge, then he won it back, so he was a WWE champion for the second time. So they only hold the belt like twice during this point. So, I'm glad they stuck with John Cena as the champion going in at the end of the show. Overall, match was 4.5 out of 5-star match. Nothing else to say. Overall, to me, the show was a B minus, but it was still a really great build-up, good show. A lot of fun and enjoyment that I got out of this when I was a kid, and still do to this day. I've seen it about 10 times, maybe. And I just had fun watching it. I really enjoyed it. And anyway, though, hit that subscribe button. I hope you did enjoy the show, and that's about all I got to say about this pay-per-view. If you haven't seen WrestleMania 22, I highly recommend you catching it. You know, maybe on YouTube, or, you know, buying it in a movie store for used for like $5.99 or something like that somewhere, or on Amazon. But I definitely highly recommend this pay-per-view to anyone who's a WrestleMania fan, and would or even a WWE fan. What am I talking about? But yeah, anyway, definitely I would check that one out if you're at all interested and want to see the whole entire thing from beginning to end. But I'm cashing out here today. Hope you enjoyed the review for WrestleMania 22. I will be back either tomorrow or Tuesday with another WrestleMania review. I do thank you very much for your time taking a look at this video. Hit that subscribe button. Excuse me again, let me repeat that. Hit that subscribe button and have a great day, man, and I'll catch you on the flip side, guys. Bye.